Hi everybody, it's been a long time. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've got to get better at these. I promise you I will. I'm just so very glad to see you, and this has been a wonderful week. I had a survivor that somebody from the church got a hold of me and asked me if I would talk to her, and sometimes you people just put me in awe. The things that you go through and that you survive. Listen, I want you to give yourself credit. I want you to think about what you've been through and the fact that you're still with us. Because there's a lot of people that don't make it. And as you know, in the 7th grade, I almost didn't make it. And if it wasn't for my best friend, I wouldn't be here today. I called a girlfriend who, back when I was very young, I must have been in middle school when I was taking classes, what did they call it in the Episcopalian Church when you become confirmed? Confirmation classes, I suppose. But she and her mother would come get me, and I would tail along, and we'd take confirmation classes, and I became confirmed, and that's when I found Jesus. And I cried to her because I said, "Thank you, Suzette. You probably saved my life, because when I did try to commit suicide, and my best friend Tisha called me right at the right moment, and we talked on the phone and laughed, and I didn't ever do it again because I realized that I would go to hell if I tried to kill myself. And if it wasn't for me going to church and understanding that and trusting in God and having the faith that I did all along, I've never questioned God for some reason. And I'm sorry to get, if you don't believe in God and all of that, I'm sorry, but this is my story. I told Suzette, you don't know what you've done for me. That is poignant, and that was a time in my life, still is. I've never questioned Jesus, not even the molestation, the horrible things that man did to me. I've never questioned Jesus. That's man's will. It wasn't Jesus who made him do the things that he did to me. It was Tony Benton, excuse me. I had a father named Benston, and then I had a father named Benton. So, it was his will to do that to me. And it was me and Jesus, before I was even born, having a conversation saying, "What do you choose for your life's plan?" And we didn't know what it would be, and I chose the harder plan because of faith. And luckily for me, I have stuck with it, and I've trusted Jesus and faith, and here I am today. So what I want to say to you is, you astound me every day with your stories. And though I tried to commit suicide and it didn't happen because it wasn't supposed to happen, I wasn't done yet. And maybe some of you have. That doesn't mean you're a failure, it just means you're not done here. I'm astounded by you. I really am. And I've heard it all. So, give yourself a break. Give yourself a break. We are so hard on ourselves, but look how far we've come. On those days when it's so hard, and you want to lay there and cry and rehash this, don't. look at how far you've come. If you have to, write it down. I'm currently doing a video that is going to go along with my speaking engagements. Kind of like the video you saw on here with a little girl that says I'm not okay. And it'll tell my life. It'll show my life. And I will take it with me on my speaking engagements. And I will put it on here as soon as it's done. And I decided that every time I've been speaking, people have a lot of questions. And so I decided to start a book. And I'm writing a book now. And I'm almost on chapter 3. And writing and actually speaking about it is completely different. It's very hard to write out when you've masturbated somebody. Somebody has masturbated you, put their fingers inside you, all of it. And Suzette, when I was talking to her yesterday, she asked me, didn't he look like this and kind of pudgy and all of that? I have no recollection of what he looked like. You know, I was 3 to 6, but I remember forearms down. I remember his privates. I could draw them. I remember his hands vividly, the smell, everything he did to me. I can remember the inside of that house. I could draw it out for you. And I don't remember his face. 3 years, I don't remember his face. And she said something that really scared me. She said, I remember him being around a lot. And I said, oh my gosh, Suzette, do you think he did anything to you? Any of my friends? And she said, no, I don't. She said, I just remember he was around a lot, but he wasn't around us alone. Oh, I'm so thankful for that. That scared me so much for a minute. Because I would have felt responsible because I didn't tell before. So anyway, I want you to give yourself kudos. And I want you to keep that little journal. I've talked about it before. And maybe I haven't. I have a little journal that is in my purse. And every time I learn something, whether it be something, and sorry about my eye, I had Botox on my neck and they do it all over because I had 400 pounds patients fall on me when I was in a surgery, and when I worked surgery in urology clinic, and I have to get Botox, and he kind of gave me a droopy eye. What I have learned is anytime I learn something new or hear something in church or hear something somebody says to me that is a compliment or is something I should remember, I write it down in this little journal. And usually, go figure, it's pieces of song at church or sitting here listening to the kids' music. I might hear it and write it down. Listening to lectures that I go to, write it down. And then I go back, and if I'm in a funk, I read it. It's really good for me. But lastly, I want to give you your rights. I hope I'm not going too long, and I'm so sorry about this. But I have these rights for you. And I'm going to read this to you. You have the right to be treated with respect and dignity. Privacy. That means you can refuse to answer any questions about your sexual assault, your sexual orientation, your sexual history, medical history, including HIV status, and your mental health history. You have the right to decide whether or not you want to report the assault to the police. You have the right not to be judged based on race, sex, class, gender, or sexual orientation. have a sexual counselor advocate come to any medical law enforcement and legal proceedings. You have the right to request that somebody that you are comfortable with stay with you in the examination room. You have the right to ask questions and get answers regarding any tests, exams, medications, and treatments, or police reports. That's very important. Don't ever be afraid, because it's your body. And you have the right to be considered a victim or survivor, I like that word better, of sexual assault regardless of the offender's relationship to you. I want to say just a little bit. This is my own opinion. Take it or leave it. Decide whether or not you want to report the sexual assault to the police. Please do it. I know it's scary. Please do it, because, listen, I don't know anybody in all my years, 19 years of nursing, I don't know anybody who has ever been rehabilitated. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody. Also, concerning rape kits, I know that's hard. And most people want to go home and they want to shower. But that's evidence. And we have to put these creeps away. And don't think of it as somebody taking you and putting you in this sterile environment with this sterile piece of equipment, and it's a male doctor. We are trying our best to make this so easy for you. There are advocates that come with you. There are nurses that are trained in this, to be gentle and to be loving to you. And I hope that's happening around the United States, because you deserve that. But please, if you can just muster it up, try to do it, because that's evidence. And he doesn't, or she doesn't, belong on the streets. That's my 2 cents. But I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Any little step you take, I'm so proud of you. So I will have more to come, okay? Feel free to write in, PM. Anybody local in Sioux City, second Monday of every month from 6 to 8, we have a support group, and we would love to see you. It's at Sunnybrook Church. We don't teach religion. It's just a safe, comfortable place to be, and we are there with open arms for you. Thank you.